Coming up on Messenger, we have a segment from Fresh Faith where young adults share their journeys of faith and resilience. Pastor Martin will join us for Pathfinders, and finally, we'll have an exclusive interview with Paul Llewellyn, president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada. Don't miss this inspiring and uplifting episode. Welcome to Messenger. I'm your host, Adriana, and today we're diving into the powerful story of Jacob's ladder, found in Genesis chapter 28. In this story, Jacob dreams of a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels going up and down. This vision is a reminder of the constant connection between God and his people. Even in difficult times, he's always near, guiding us and showing us the way. We'll explore how Jacob's experience can inspire us to trust in God's presence in our own lives, and how, just like Jacob, we can find assurance in God's promises. If you'd like to support us in sharing messages of faith and hope, consider becoming an agent of hope. You can contribute through prayer or by making a donation. To donate, visit agentsofhope.ca, where you can give by debit, credit, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. E-transfers are also accepted at agentsofhope@hopetv.ca. You can mail a check payable to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada to the following address: Hope Channel, Canada, 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H1H8. Or give us a call at 1-855-4HOPE-TV. Let's get ready to uncover what Jacob's ladder means for us today. We're diving into an inspiring story of faith and kindness. Tiffany Jones, a young woman on a mission, traveled from Costa Rica to New Zealand, making a difference in the lives of children and communities. And today, we have Cleisha Felician, a columnist for Fresh Faith in Messenger magazine, to help us share her story. Welcome, Cleisha.
Thank you, Adriana, for having me. I'm excited to talk about Tiffany's journey. She really experienced an incredible mission trip, and one that changed not only her life, but also the lives of so many others.
So Tiffany spent a whole year in Costa Rica. What inspired her to take such a big leap and dedicate her time there?
Well, Tiffany always felt a calling, and she wanted to make a meaningful impact. She had always wanted to go on mission trips, and in January 2022, after finishing her undergrad education, she decided it was time. She went to Costa Rica to serve as a volunteer teacher, and there she taught English, science, and math to grades 1 through 7, and it was just the perfect timing for her.
Timing? Tell me more about that.
Of course. So Tiffany was actually the only English teacher there for the first 6 months. The school desperately was looking for someone, and she told me in her interview that God just sent me at the right time, because she wasn't just a teacher. She was starting to become a part of the community, and she was able to build strong bonds with the students and families. And even after her mission ended in December 2023, she still stays in touch with all the people that she met down there.
That's wonderful. I can imagine it wasn't just about teaching, it was about creating lasting connections.
Yes, of course, absolutely. Tiffany realized that being there wasn't just about teaching English or math. She shared God's love through her actions. She told me, anywhere in the world, no matter the country or the language, the person is a person. And we love, we laugh, we play, and that's what she brought to her students every day.
Such a beautiful sentiment. So how did her faith deepen during this time?
Well, being in a foreign country can be very overwhelming sometimes. And there are moments when Tiffany doubted herself and she felt unsure. But that's when she turned to God and she saw his hand guiding her, whether it was through the kindness of the people around her or just the beauty of nature that she saw each day. She said, no matter what country I'm in, God is always there keeping me safe. And her trust in him grew stronger and stronger each day.
Amazing. Tiffany didn't stop in Costa Rica, though. She's now in New Zealand, right?
That is correct. Tiffany is currently teaching in New Zealand, continuing her mission work. She sees her role there as another opportunity to share God's kindness and love, one student at a time. It's really amazing how God's plan has unfolded for her.
Yes. So from Costa Rica to New Zealand, Tiffany's journey shows that faith can take you anywhere and open doors you never expected.
That is correct. Tiffany truly believes that God places us in these places and roles for a reason. He uses us to further his kingdom and to be a light in the lives of others.
Thank you, Clecia, for sharing Tiffany's incredible journey with us today. It's a reminder that no matter where we are, we can all make a difference. Whether you're in a classroom or just walking through life, you have the opportunity to share God's love and kindness.
Thank you so much for having me, Adriana. Tiffany's story is proof that when we take a step out in faith, God takes care of the rest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Campbell Daly from Agents of Hope, and I hope that you're doing well. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for taking your time to watch the Messenger program with Adriana Joy Lewis. Your support means so much to us, and we hope you have been inspired by the stories that have been shared so far. Be sure to catch each new episode on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. I also wanted to share with you how you can join this movement and become an agent of hope. Most importantly, we desire your prayers. Please remember those who are involved with Hope Channel Canada and the production of its programs, as well as the different initiatives we will have launching throughout the country, and for the hearts of people all across Canada to be open to learning that in Jesus, there is more to life. We also appreciate any time that you have to spare in order to volunteer with one of our projects. Please feel free to contact us at either agentsofhope@hopetv.ca or visit agentsofhope.ca to have your questions answered. Lastly, your financial support would be greatly appreciated, and any amount makes a huge difference in impacting Canadians. Please visit agentsofhope.ca so that you can donate online via debit, credit, Google Pay, or Apple Pay. If you prefer to donate offline, you can e-transfer us at agentsofhope@hopetv.ca or mail a check to Hope Channel Canada at the following address: Hope Channel Canada, 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H1H8. Thank you once again for joining us on this journey, this exciting journey.
Today, we're exploring the concept of mercy through the lens of color. Mercy appears in many forms, and each one teaches us something unique. Joining me is Abigail Matthew Amarim, an undergraduate student and columnist for Messenger magazine. She'll help us understand these different shades of mercy and what they mean in our lives. Mercy is often seen as a gift. How do the colors of spring, like pale pink, symbolize mercy in our lives?
So I love poetry, and so this is definitely a very poetic kind of take on mercy, but spring to me is like being renewed. So, you know, the leaves fall, the winter comes, everything is dead, and then in the spring, everything blooms again and everything is alive again. So I think it's just that kind of concept of mercy, of resurrection as well, of just like everything coming back to life. And we trust that when the seasons change, everything is going to come back the way it always has, and that's like a little gift from God that the flowers bloom in the spring.
The warmth of a fire and the rising sun are described as mercy. How does this imagery help us understand the comfort and community mercy brings?
So I use the imagery of a rising sun because to me that's like symbolizes a day, like the giving of another day. Because we don't know how much time we have. We don't know when we go to sleep at night if we're going to get another day. So every sunrise is like a little gift from God. It's like a little grace that we're given another day to live and to follow God and to do all the things that we love to do. Every day is a gift.
That's amazing. We see mercy in the black of mourning and the brown of our Savior's eyes. How does mercy offer hope and healing in times of sorrow?
So for this one, I was really thinking of, Jesus wept when he's crying and he's mourning the death of his friend, although he's going to raise him from the dead, but they don't know that yet. But our Savior is close to us in times of heartbreak, and his heart breaks for us. God is not distant from us. He's not laughing at our troubles. When we cry, he cries as well. His heart broke for us. He gave himself for us.
Yes. The red of Christ's sacrifice is a powerful symbol of mercy. How does this color connect to the idea of redemption and salvation?
I think the cross really speaks for itself. It's a really, really powerful symbol. That's why it's used in so many places and in so many ways. But just the idea of the incarnation, that Christ was willing to give so much of himself, everything, pour out his life unto death for us, and willing to suffer all these things for our sake is the ultimate act of mercy.
I agree. It's powerful.
It really is.
Finally, mercy is seen in the humble brown of the cloth that swaddled Christ as a child. What does this teach us about humility and the nature of God's mercy?
The incarnation, it's the center of Christianity, and it's like this outrageous and impossible thing, and yet it's true. And so I think the realness of Christ's humanity is so powerful. It says in John chapter 1:14, I believe, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. And I think it's just really amazing, and that's represented in that incarnation, in the scene of the baby in the manger. Like that's the whole gospel in a way.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Abigail, for helping us delve into the rich and varied colors of mercy. As we go forward, let's remember that mercy surrounds us in many forms. It is a gift that continually shapes our lives and draws us closer to the heart of God. Up next, we have Pastor Edwin Martin, Pathfinder Director at the Ontario Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Today, he's going to share the amazing story of Jacob's ladder, found in Genesis chapter 28. Grab your Bibles and get ready to dive into this powerful message about faith and God's presence in our lives.
Hey Pathfinders, it's Pastor Martin. Today we are going to explore the star's honor. We are also going to learn about an amazing Bible story found in Genesis chapter 28. So if you have your Bibles, open them up and follow along. Jacob was on a long journey, traveling from his home to his uncle Laban's house. He was alone and probably felt scared about his future. One night, after a long day of walking, Jacob lay down to sleep with a stone as his pillow. That night, God gave him an incredible dream. In the dream, Jacob saw a huge ladder stretching from the earth all the way up to heaven. Angels were going up and down the ladder, carrying out God's work. At the very top of the ladder stood God himself. He spoke directly to Jacob. God told Jacob, "I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and all peoples on earth will be blessed throughout you and your offspring. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go." This dream was a turning point for Jacob. Before this, Jacob might have felt unsure about his future, and even about his relationship with God. But this dream showed him something powerful. God was with him every step of the way. The ladder was a symbol of connection between heaven and earth. It reminded Jacob that God was guiding him and that he was not far away. When Jacob woke up, he was amazed and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." He took the stone he had used as a pillow, set it up as a pillar. He poured oil on it, naming the place Bethel. It means house of God. This moment marked the beginning of Jacob's deeper relationship with God. He realized God's presence was with him no matter where he was. Now let's connect this story to the stars. When you look up the night sky, you see constellations like Orion and the Big Dipper. These constellations have guided travelers for centuries, the same way God guided Jacob through his dream. To find the North Star, look for that bright star that doesn't move much. It's always in the northern sky and helps people find their way. The Big Dipper is a group of stars that look like a big spoon or frying pan. It's part of a larger constellation called Ursa Major, the Great Bear. The two stars at the edge of the bowl of the Big Dipper are called the pointer stars. If you follow a straight line through these stars, they'll lead you directly to the North Star. Orion is another constellation that's easy to find. Look for 3 bright stars in a straight line. These are known as Orion's belt. Once you find the belt, you can see Orion's body. There will be 2 bright stars marking his shoulders and 2 marking his knees. Orion is most visible during the winter months and shines brightly in the southern sky. Just like Jacob's ladder connected him to God's guidance, these stars can remind us of God's constant presence in our lives. Even when we feel alone or uncertain, like Jacob did, God is always near, guiding us and keeping His promises. Here's what you can do tonight. Go outside and see if you can find the North Star by looking for the Big Dipper and following the pointer stars. Then, try to spot Orion by finding his belt. As you find these constellations, remember how God spoke to Jacob in his dream and assured him of his presence. Continue to work on the stars' honor and study the night sky. Let the stars remind you that God is with you too, watching over you and lighting your path. Keep looking up and trust God just like Jacob did.
Hello everyone, my name is Ivaldo Vicente and I'm the editor of the Messenger magazine. I trust you've been enjoying the programming on Hope Channel Canada so far and have been inspired to bring hope to your community as well. Thank you for watching each new episode of The Messenger on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We're excited for this partnership in bringing our magazine to life in a different way. I do want to take a moment to remind you of all the ways that you can watch The Messenger. You can visit hopetv.ca or on our YouTube channel at Hope Channel Canada. You can also view it on the free Hope Channel app, which can be downloaded onto your phone or tablet via the App Store or Google Play Store. You can also download the app on your smart TV via Roku or the Amazon App Store. And make sure to select Hope Channel Canada. Finally, we're also on cable TV under channel 893 on Eastlink, Delta, and Coastal, and also channel 94 on City West. Now, lastly, I do want to share that as you're watching these programs, you may be wondering how you can get to know more about Jesus and how he can bring more to your life. As Hope Channel Canada, we always say there is more to life. And so if you want to find about that more, we have a Bible study platform called Hope Study that can help you do just that. Please visit hopestudy.ca to learn more and register yourself. Thank you again for watching and joining us in this movement of letting Canadians know that with Jesus, there is more to life.
Thank you, Pastor Martin, for that insightful lesson on Jacob's ladder. It's a reminder that God is always with us, guiding us through life. Now let's turn our attention to an exciting initiative for the future. Joining us is Pastor Paul Llewellyn, president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada, to share about Pentecost 2025. This major event is set to inspire our church communities in a big way. Pastor Paul, thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Can you please explain to us what is Pentecost 2025?
Pentecost 2025 is a proclamation event throughout the North American division. We want to have 3,000 proclamation events. This is not a 28-day evangelistic crusade. It's a short segment where we call the community to our churches or to our schools or to a rented facility, and we invite the people to come to hear the everlasting gospel. We want it to be short because people's time is very important, and we want it to follow up on another event later on. And so we want to have 3,000 of them here in North America and at least 300 of them here in Canada.
That's amazing. What inspired the North American division to focus on 3,000 proclamation events for Pentecost 2025?
Every year that we have an evangelism focus, our baptisms in the North American division skyrocket. And our baptisms have been pretty, just climbing a tiny bit. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to reach our communities in proclaiming the everlasting gospel through the lenses of the three angels. Alex Bryant, the president of the North American division, had been involved in doing the same thing for Papua New Guinea. They had 3,000 proclamation events all over the island. And right now, the baptisms by the end of this December will amount to about 500,000 baptisms.
Wow.
We want to see that here in Canada. We want
to
not just double, but triple, quadruple. We want to have the problem of not having enough churches to have everybody come in.
How do you see lay evangelism playing a critical role in this initiative?
We want it to be the main role in this initiative. So often we look at our pastors to do the work, but our laity sometimes spend too much time in the pew. We want them to be active in organizing and putting everything together. We want them to be the people that present the everlasting gospel. We want them to get so used to ministry, to evangelism, that they get excited when they see the results. So that the proclamation work from here on out till Jesus comes back is going to be more about our laity than about our paid pastoral staff.
That makes it so meaningful. With such a large-scale plan, what challenges do you foresee, and how can we overcome them?
There are a lot of challenges. We're the North American Division, and with the SDACC and our conferences, are giving an amount of money for this, around $5,000 for each church to have.
That's great.
Or each school, which is a nice amount. But it takes a lot more to do that. Our largest challenge is our churches being involved in our communities. If we're not involved in the community, we can hand out all the cards we want. We can mail all the invites we want, and we're not going to have anybody there. When our churches get involved in the community and they know the people by name, it is easy to invite them. And that's why Jesus did the same thing. He set the example for us. He went out there and mingled with people, got to know them, became friends with them. And when he was friends with them, then he invited them to follow him. And so we need to do the same thing. We need to make sure we're out there in our communities, getting to know everybody. And once we are friends with them, then the invitation for them to come and hear the everlasting gospel, they will respond.
Wonderful. The Bible warns against distractions. How can we stay focused on our mission during this time?
You know, Paul writes in his writings that we need to lift up Christ and Him crucified. If we stay focused on the everlasting gospel and sharing the everlasting gospel, we will stay focused. If our focus draws to the little myriad of little things that can distract us and put us against each other, then that's the work of the devil, coming in to do everything he can to distract us. Let's keep focused on the cross, what Jesus Christ did on the cross, what He's doing in the most holy place, and His soon return. We have all of eternity to discuss everything else. So let's keep focused on the cross. Let's lift up Jesus. Let's share the everlasting gospel through the lenses of the three angels. It's very important because that's the call of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And it's, you know, the story is Jesus wins. There's another place that loses, and we invite people to be part of the winning side. And that's the three angels' message. And when we share that with the focus on the cross, people will respond.
It's so uplifting. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Pastor Paul, for sharing the vision behind Pentecost 2025. It's clear that this initiative is critical for spreading the everlasting gospel. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've been inspired by the story shared, from Jacob's encounter with God to the exciting vision for Pentecost 2025. Just like Jacob's ladder reminds us that God is always with us, we can trust that He is guiding us every step of the way. If you've been touched by today's message and want to support spreading the gospel, consider becoming an agent of hope. You can support this ministry through prayer or by making a donation. To donate, visit agentsofhope.ca, where you can give by debit, credit, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. E-transfers are also accepted at agentsofhope@hopetv.ca. You can mail a check payable to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada to the following address: Hope Channel Canada, 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H 1H8. Or give us a call at 1-855-4HOPE-TV. That is 1-855-446-7388. And for more stories like this, subscribe to The Messenger magazine. You can get a free subscription through your local Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada or a yearly subscription that costs $20. Remember, each of us can be a messenger of God's love in our own community. Thank you again for being with us, and we'll see you next time.